Hi, my name is Malka, and I was born in New York and eventually made it to California. Throughout my whole life, I had all different kinds of projects, projects that really served my community, a Gmach, a Tehillim Club, and all these projects served my friends, but there was nothing that really served my heart and made my heart sing. And then I was lucky enough to meet Ray. So how did that happen? Well, many years ago, as a longtime teacher, I actually worked day to day with Ray. She was a librarian and I was a teacher, and we hit it off from the very beginning. We had a lot in common in terms of how we saw children, how we wanted to empower children. And then COVID hit. And Ray and I really had to split up for a while because the school was closed and we were on Zoom. Well, during that time, I was taking care of my father, who passed away at the ripe old age of 100. And I decided I needed to take off from work in order to be able to care for him. So I actually took off a year, and overnight, I went from being a full-time Mora to a healthcare worker, not really even knowing what I was doing. And during those 16 months that I was really isolated from the world, didn't actually go into a store, only went out to walk around my block, I had a lot of time to reflect. And I remembered that in a drawer hidden for 30 years was a book that I actually had worked on, because my greatest pleasure during those years of teaching was reading to my students. And so something stirred within me, and I thought about the book, but didn't have the courage to do anything about it. After a while, my father passed away, and when I was looking through his things, I realized that he had taken a poetry class at the age of 90, and over the years had written 38 amazing poems that would not see the light of day if nobody cleaned out his papers. And so right now I'm in the process of making those poems into a book for my family. And then I said to myself, okay, that's it. I really need to find that book. I know it's there. I'm not waiting until I'm 90. I'm not waiting until I'm chas v'shalom gone. That book has to see the light of day. And maybe within a few months, Ray sent me an email about her wonderful class. It came at a really good time, because what was happening was I was actually kind of losing myself. So mentally, I couldn't seem to recapture who I was. Going from the care worker to having lost my father, these women came at such an amazing time in my life and totally uplifted me and held my hand via Zoom and let me know that everything was going to be okay. Now, as far as projects are concerned, I said to myself, well, this is going to be the time. I'm taking out that book. I'm going to discuss that book with all these women. They are going to uplift me. They are going to carry me through, and something is going to happen with this book. But as we all know, some of us have that little voice inside our head saying, you're not worthy, it's not good enough. And these women, and with the help of Ray, they made me see that it could be good enough. It may not be my best work now, but if I work at it, it could be the best I have to offer. And slowly but surely, with the help of Ray and all these women, I wrote 2 more books within that year. I'm on my 4th book now, and I'm actually submitting them to publishers. And this really would not have happened without Ray. So now I feel almost complete. I have passion projects that serve my community, and I have a passion project for myself. And my hope and my dream is really that one day, some Mora somewhere in the country will be sitting down with a group of 1st graders and will be reading my book to them. And so all I can say is, if you're one of those closet drawer people who have a project that's just sitting around, take it from me, take it out, dust it off, believe in your project, and believe in yourself. The way that I think that I can help you is, I would love to hear from you. If you're that person that's been waiting 30 years or less, or possibly more, to get that book out, I would love for you to contact me. There'll be information how to contact me in my email. Write to me. Let me know what's happening with you. I would love to hear from you. And the second way I think I might be able to help you is to set up a Gmach. A Gmach is in English is called a lending library. And basically what happens is that there are certain like cooperatives where items are given out for free and certain ones where there is a charge. So I actually manage two. The first one is in memory of my father, and it's called Zaidee's Babies and a children's clothing Gmach, where for no money, anybody can come and look through my closets. I have set up with beautiful colored hangers, children's clothing from newborn up to toddler 5. And the name of Zaidee's Babies came up for my father, who was the Zaidee and the great Zaidee of the entire family. And his name was Shapsai Ben Chaim David. So the Neshama should have an aliyah. And my second Gmach has to do with wedding, and it's called Bubby's Wedding Shtick Gmach. And that has all different kinds of things that make a wedding very festive. Balloons, arches, a parachute, pom-poms, funny hats, lighting up necklaces, and things that make the simcha dancing really special. And that I set up because both my mother and my mother-in-law passed away within a year and very close to my daughter's wedding. So in order to feel that they were part of the ceremony, the shtick that was used to make people happy was donated and bought and put together in their names. And you should know that the wedding shtick went as far as Paris. So we really have been doing very well. So once again, I wish you hatzlacha, that's success, but it's the Jewish kind of success where you really put your heart into it and you do for others, but you also do for yourself. And it was a pleasure to be able to speak to you today. You can do it, believe me, just don't wait 30 years.